Hello, and welcome to Conversations with Auntie, where we have real talk about real life situations. I am your host, Tanya Lynn. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the real, the raw, and the unapologetic with Auntie. Hey everybody, welcome to Conversations with Auntie. I am your favorite Auntie, Tanya Lynn. It's been a minute. I'm doing better. I was outside. It was summer. God used me to do some awesome evangelizing during the summer break, and I'm back. It's the first day of school. Yes, it is. We had a wonderful first day of school. I pray that all of our faculty, our staff, and our scholars are safe and protected during this school season, and that our parents don't get frustrated and lose their minds because they can't help their children do their homework. Okay. And okay, because I mean, they showed me this new math in one of our meetings that we had before school started, and I was like, "What? You take and just add those, and then you do the tenths here, and that's it? Wow!" And here we doing 20 steps. Back in the day, we had all them steps and whatnot. And did. So, everybody, today is going to be an awesome conversation. Our topic is From Pieces to Peace. Our special guest is Kay Chantel and Sheena. Yay! Kay Chantel is the author of Girl Be Whole. And she also has a conference coming up next month. It is going to be on starts September 19th through the 20th. We will show the information a little later, but this is her book. You can find it on Amazon. You can type in book by Kchantel and it will pop up. That's how mine popped up. And it is at a reasonable price. So don't cheat yourself, treat yourself, and go get this book. Ladies, welcome to Conversations with Auntie. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am tired. They worked me today, and I don't know why they worked me so hard.
They missed you.
It was the first day back. They did miss me. Mm-hmm. And so Kay and Sheena, we're part of the GBW Girl Be Whole team. Mm-hmm. And so we are here to talk about a lot of things today. We're going to talk about, this is your third year doing the Girl Be Whole conference, women's conference. Mm-hmm. And then you just wrote a book, so you're a new author now. You got your stuff down on paper. You're an author. Mm-hmm. You also have recently become a life coach.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're the coach, you're the author, you're the minister, the pastor, the mommy.
Yes, definitely the mommy.
And she can hold a note without having to put it in the bucket and seal it. She can carry a note too. She can carry a note too. And then Sheena, I met Sheena when I was preaching a few years ago. I don't want to say many years ago, but it was a few decades ago. Ago, and just fell in love with she and her husband. They're really good people, great men and women of God. Mm-hmm. They're trailblazers, they're forerunners, and they do a great work in evangelizing as well. So welcome to Conversations with Auntie. It's a blessing to have you here with me.
Thank you.
Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? Right.
Yes.
I watched you grow up.
Yes.
And what a beautiful flower you've become.
Amen.
I'm proud
I appreciate
of how you're blooming. I'm proud of how you're blooming. And so let's start with the book.
Okay.
Because I want to open with something from the book. Since the topic is From Pieces to Peace, Day 25 says, Peace in the Storm. Mm-hmm. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:7. That's the NIV. Mm-hmm. The devotional is, storms will come, emotional storms, relational storms, financial storms, but you do not have to be shaken. Philippians 4:7 reminds us that God offers a peace that does not even make sense. Yeah. Peace that stands guard over your heart and mind, even in the middle of the chaos. And then I'm going to go down because I can't give it all to them. They need to buy the book.
They do need to buy the book.
So take a deep breath today. Release control. Mm-hmm. Surrender the need to figure it all out. Ask God to fill your heart with his supernatural peace. Let it guard your thoughts, steady your emotions, and give you rest. Mm-hmm. Amen. Man. So what prompted you to write Girl Behold, 30-Day Devotional and Affirmations for the Everyday Woman by K. Chantel Robinson?
So what prompted me to write the book was I already knew, first of all, it had already been prophesied to me numerous times that I was supposed to write this book, right? It's just that I just didn't know what book I was supposed to write, right? So I was like, okay, Lord, well, I know I'm supposed to write this book. Like, just give me what it is that you will have me to say to the everyday woman, right? Because my focus is the everyday woman, right? And so I sat on my computer and I was just, typing out all this stuff. And I was like, no, that's not it. And I deleted the whole thing. And then I started typing up some more. And I was like, no, that's not it. And the Lord was like, so are you going to listen to me? Or are you just gonna keep typing this thing? Because the more you keep typing, the more you're gonna delete it, because I didn't tell you to write that.
Ooh. Oh wow.
So it was in that moment when I was like, okay, Lord, here, you got this. And so I literally sat on my laptop.
As you just said here,
Surrendered. So I literally surrendered in that moment, and I literally just let God have his way. And so every day, like, the Lord would just download and just drop little things here and there for me to put in this book. And so I would put stuff in there, and then I would, add stuff, take stuff away, and so every day he would give me little by little for this book. And so by the time I looked up, I was at the 30 days. So I said, okay, Lord, well, am I supposed to keep going? Like, what's going to happen on the 31st day? Like, once they finish this book, what's going to happen on the 31st day? And he was just like, just get the 30 days out there first, and then we'll worry about the next 30 days. So I am in the process of doing another 30 day, which is part 2 to that book. But this time it'll be a workbook as well.
Can I make a suggestion?
Absolutely.
Some months have 31 days. Do a 31-day journal.
Got it. Okay.
And then in the months that don't have 31 days, that's just an extra.
An extra. Got it.
Them.
You're right. You're right.
But this is, and you know what I like, what I love about this book? I can throw it in my purse.
You can.
I took it, today was the first day of school, and I made sure I had this book with me because it's easy to transport.
It is.
When you're going on a trip, or something like that. You don't have to stop getting your affirmations. You don't have to stop getting your daily word.
Right.
Because it's mind, body, and spirit. So everything has to be filled so that you can live a purposeful life and a balanced life.
Right.
Right. And the man you feed the most is the man that will thrive the most.
That's right.
The man that will show up the most.
That's right.
And so I love this book because you can just take it. And even though it's day 10, you might need to go back to day 1.
So day 1.
See what that says. Day 2, courage over fear.
Right.
You might need to go back, and reread some days, even though it's day 25. You might need to know because you're trying to deal with the peace. So let's go back to the day 2.
Right.
Day 5, grace for yourself. I had to tell a coworker that today. We used to work together last year. She was one of our instructors, and she's at another school this year. And she said, I said, this is your first year there. This is your first day there. You're a principal, intern, and a teacher. So you have dual roles. So it had to happen so that you can give them a more excellent way. So please give yourself grace.
Grace, yeah,
please
absolutely.
Give yourself grace.
Absolutely.
And that's something we don't give ourselves. We think because we're Christians, because we love Christ, we're supposed to have all the answers.
Right.
Well, if we were supposed to have all the answers, the scriptures wouldn't say, if any man lack knowledge, let him ask of me, and I will give out liberally.
That's right.
So, I great job.
Thank you.
This is a good journal.
And another thing, Auntie, I don't want to cut you off, but
no, you ain't cutting me off this conversation.
I designed that book like that purposely because I know me, right? And I know, I like to read stuff and get to the point, like get to the meat of it, right? And so with that journal, it's literally, you got the affirmations here, you got your daily reading, and then you have maybe like a little space at the bottom, reflections.
You got
yes, I do.
Section
the
right
notes
here.
Exactly. So it wasn't like I didn't want to do like nothing like super long because even when I was writing the book, I was still thinking about me too because I'm just like, okay, well, while reading this book, I know my attention span is real quick.
Yeah.
And so I don't even me reading the book, I didn't want to lose myself and reading a book, right? So I just wanted to keep the audience's attention. So
and you're right, because it's not long devotionals. Like
Right.
it's one page, and then you turn over and you have your reflection questions, and then you have the affirmation. I'm fully equipped and empowered. God supplies everything I need to fulfill my calling. And then you have the notes. Where you can put down where you need more equipping at, and how has God already provided for what he is calling you to do.
Right.
So that you can go, and then you can get your own journal.
Right.
And journal with this book as well.
Yep.
You know, you get your own journal and journal with the book as well. So Girl Be Whole was birthed before the book.
Yes.
So what birthed Girl Be Whole Ministries?
So for years, and I mean years on top of years, the Lord told me that I was supposed to birth Girl Be Whole, right? But I didn't do it because I did it out of, number one, let's just be honest here. I did it out of disobedience. I didn't do it when I was supposed to do it out of disobedience. I didn't do it out of fear, right? I didn't do it because I was afraid of what other people would say because of my past. And
they always see our then, but not our now.
But not our now. And so, and then I didn't do it because I just didn't feel qualified to do it. Let's just be honest, right? But it was it was 3 years ago in January, and the Lord woke me up out of my sleep 2 a.m. and said, you know, this is it.
Wow.
This is the year that you were birth Girl Be Whole. Wow. And I'm sorry to see what the repercussions will be if you don't birth this thing.
Wow.
And I said, ooh.
You felt that, didn't you, Sheena?
And I was like, and I mean, it was literally 2 a.m. And he said, I'm sorry to see what the repercussions will be if you don't birth this thing. And I literally got up.
Said, keep messing around and find out.
Keep messing around and find. Hello?
Stop playing in my face.
So I literally got up that morning. And I got my notepad and I just started writing stuff down. And as I was writing, the Lord was just giving it to me. Wow. And so I was like, okay, Lord, so when exactly am I supposed to birth this? And he was like, well, when do you want to birth this? He was like, but you need to do it immediately. So I was like, well, my birthday is March 23rd.
Come on now.
I'll just go ahead and just 323.
323.
It was 320. And I did it. And I did it 323. And so, you know, I had like a little birthday celebration. And then like, I went live on Facebook. And I birthed Girl Be Whole. And one thing that my apostle has always taught us was to do it afraid, right? And so I was very afraid. Like I said, I was very afraid, but I did it, right? Didn't know what I was getting myself into. I didn't know anything. Like I literally planned a conference, didn't talk to nobody about it, didn't do anything. I just basically went off of what I seen, right? And so we just been going strong ever since then. And I can say now that every year has gotten better and better.
This year is litty. Listen. Listen,
baby.
Clock this. Kids say we're gonna clock this.
Clock that tea. Clock it.
This year we got a team. We've all been attacked.
Yes.
So that is everybody. No, that's not this. This one's coming August 30th. So screenshot that one. That's it right there. So that's Girl Be Whole. Take a screenshot of that right now. You have the itinerary.
Yes.
You have the speakers. If you want to donate, you have the faithful supporter donations page there, and then you have the book Girl Be Whole. So all the information for Girl Be Whole is right there.
It's right there.
Take a picture. We are almost at capacity.
We are.
VIP filled up with 48
It did.
hours.
It did. Literally.
VIP,
It literally it did. Yes, ma'am, it did.
VIP was sold out.
Yep.
So you definitely want to be in the place because it's for women of all ages.
It is.
And it's not just a black thing, baby.
It's not.
It's a woman thing.
Hello.
This ain't personal.
Listen.
It's all the way.
Hello.
Yes, it's a woman thing because so often we hide behind the mask of I'm good. We're really not.
Yep.
We're really not.
Yep.
She and I had to make sure we were good. And I had a real transparent conversation. We had a talk because we're both getting attacked the same way.
Yeah, that's right. That's
from
right.
the same people.
From the same people.
Sometimes from the same places. You know, and it happens that way because if we're all connected, guess what? He comes to kill, steal, and destroy.
Yeah.
So he'll get you, and me the same way.
That's right. That's
from
right.
the same type
from
of
the
people.
same type of people.
Wow.
You know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so you have to catch that thing quickly, you know? And so that you can operate how he has called you to operate. And so you can stay in covenant with one another.
That's right.
And people don't understand covenant. I was talking to my sister Melanie yesterday. People don't understand covenant relationships because your connection is nice. But if you don't have a covenant connection.
That's right.
It's just temporal now. And people are moving. This is not the season to move from under your covenant connection. You might not like how he or she says it. You might not like how he or she does it. But if that is your God covenant connection, you better stay in that place right now because you need that covenant. You need that connection right now because it matters in this season. As I was saying, I was outside all summer long. I went to Punta Cana. I'm in Punta Cana, was blessed with the trip, and I was ministering there. My sister Lisa was sitting on the side of me watching, and we were sitting there, and I started telling the lady, she said, "You're a psychic." I said, "No, I'm a prophet of the Lord." And so I had my translator, so I was able to say it in Spanish so she could understand. So then now she's saying it back, and I'm reading in English, and I'm saying it, she's reading it in Spanish, and she just started crying.
Wow.
Just start crying, you know. So wherever we are, we're supposed to show up because we have broken vessels everywhere.
Yeah.
And girl, behold, honey, stop operating in pieces and get your piece.
And get you a piece of peace.
Get your piece of peace.
Hello?
Because sometimes you got to patchwork this thing. It's like a quilt.
Baby.
Your piece and her piece and my piece and my brother Larry's piece. We put our pieces together and it becomes a greater piece of a piece. Right. And cracked eggs are good. How do I know? Because you can't eat an egg until you crack an egg.
Until you crack an egg. That's right.
Fry it,
That's right.
boil it, poach it, I don't know, scramble it. You can't get to the essence and the substance of that thing until you crack it. So it's okay to be a cracked egg, y'all. It's okay. Everybody's cracked because it takes that essence for them to see that the crack shows the essence. So Sheena, let's talk about you. What propelled you into ministry?
So, just a little backstory. I'm trying not to be
take your time. We got an hour. Look, we got an hour. Take your time.
Right.
You know, when most black families, you know, you got to go to church. You're made to go to church.
You're made.
Well, I was never made to go. I always wanted to
That's
go.
good.
I've always loved the Lord. I love everything about church. And coming up, my grandmother, I was raised in Mount Sinai Baptist Church. Pastor Reverend Hill and my youth pastor, Pastor C.J. Matthews, shout out to him. And I went there up until I was like maybe 14. My grandmother got sick. She moved away. And that's when the enemy seeped in.
The crack. Grandma died.
No, she didn't die.
She moved away.
She moved away.
So that's a crack.
I did not have to stop going. Because now, mind you, I'm rooted there. This is where I was raised. I know everybody there, including my
crack.
When she left, the enemy said, I got her. And I stopped going. And I entered in the world. And in the world, though, I'm still battling my spirituality. Because that's how much I love the Lord. But I done got into this world that it's just a tug of war. Just a tug of war. Long story short, I grew up visiting churches, and I would hang out with my uncle. God rest his soul. He was a pastor, Pastor Calvin Egler. But I still had that foundation, but still doing things my own way. Met my husband, and one of the criteria was not if he went to church, but do you believe in God?
Yeah.
Because I needed to know that.
That's right. Because, honey, the devil go to church.
Come on.
Maybe.
But he don't believe in God.
Right. So when he said yes, that was one of our first dates. We went to church together.
Wow.
And me and him, we had our journey was up and down. It was a battle. And one day, when I tell you, God was so sick of me and him because our marriage went to, it plummeted.
Ziggity biggity bobbity boo.
Ziggity biggity bobbity boo.
Okay.
And I just cried out to God and I said, Lord, the only way my marriage is going to last and survive is I need you to step back into the center of this.
Good. It's so good.
And create a space where we can heal together through you.
So you knew you had a covenant marriage.
I knew I had a covenant marriage.
And so the devil attacks anything that sets itself in alignment with God.
And then I just prayed and I asked God to give me, I need people in my pathway that's literally searching after you. Wow. I need that kind of friendship, because I've had all the other friendships and I still have them, but I know what I need spiritually.
Absolutely.
And and fast forward, you had posted whoever comments first, you come into Girl Behold. And when I tell you, that was a moment in my life spiritually that I needed. It was like a real even boost to where I am now. And I know I got a ways to go still, but that moment, and when you said you was going to quit, you can't do that. This group, you all are an answered prayer for me.
Yeah.
So if you quit, you quitting on my answer. You telling God his answer to my prayer.
That you being the answer isn't good enough.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ain't that deep? So for you to quit, you're telling God that my answer, me being your answer, is not good enough. Wow. Girl, she just clocked you.
Okay.
Everybody
clocked Moxie.
Live.
Yeah, she can't stop.
In living color, live.
She can't stop. She can't stop, because not only did that do something for me, after the conference, she and I have connected. I have never met a woman before, and well, no, I ain't gonna say that. I've met people and connected with them, but not in this way.
Yeah.
This is spiritual. This is divine. Yeah. And when that takes place, we can't throw that back in God's face like this ain't real.
And what people don't understand, covenant isn't perfect.
No.
Because covenant is your marriage. It's not perfect. Right. But it's God ordained. And therein lies the difference. Therein lies the difference. You know, it's God ordained. And so, I did that. Always, every one of her conferences, I sponsored somebody. This year, I sponsored 3 people. VIP.
She did. Yes, she did. VIP. Yes, ma'am, she did.
Because I believe you need to sow where you grow.
Absolutely.
You know, and so she launched her women's conference, and so I'm sowing. I'm my sister Mel and my sister Pam, they're having a women's conference on August 30th in Warrensville. We're going to show their flyer up in a little bit too. I think it's so important for we women to have safe spaces.
Absolutely.
To heal.
Absolutely.
To be transparent. To be vulnerable.
So
that we could go and be used. You know?
Yeah.
And so with Girl Be Whole, I don't mess it up on purpose. But I said, girl, how's girl get your life doing? Because to me, that's girl being whole.
It is.
How's that stop being messy? Give me a message. You know, because that's all a part of girl being whole.
It is. Right.
Because
it is.
how many of I guilty.
Yeah.
I have set up in church thinking about my life isn't worth it, or thinking about how am I going to get out of this, or Lord, do you hear my prayer? Lord, I don't feel you. Lord, I can't hear from you.
Filled with fear.
That's it, filled with fear, anxiety. So, you know, although I'm called prophet, apostle, pastor, teacher, evangelist, there have been times when this person who carries the weight of all of that did not feel whole. So girl, get your life. Girl, get whole. You know, girl, get whole.
I'm telling you, it's definitely necessary, because if there's anybody out there that has
women, pause right there. Stephanie Robinson. Hey, oh, Bishop Lee Rob. Hey, Bishop. I got pastors and a bishop. Hey, Bishop. Roxanne Bruce, she's on. Hey, Roxanne Bruce's grandmother. She look like she's 60, turning 70. Courtney Love is watching.
Hi,
so
Courtney, everybody.
Monique Shavers. Hey, girl, I'm loving that short blonde bow on you. You wear it. So going back to what you were saying, Sheena.
There was when God was dealing with me, and it was during COVID, actually.
Wow.
During COVID, where we had nowhere where we could run.
You had to see yourself.
Myself. And God was just speaking to me, because I'm in my mind like, Lord, if I surrender to you, everybody that I love, all my friends, they gonna look at me funny. They not gonna want to be around me no more. They're not gonna want to be bothered with me, because all I'm gonna be talking about is you. And God said, wait a minute. you're worried about the wrong thing. Because the day you stand before me, it's going to be just me and you.
Baby.
And when I tell you, that was the turning point for me saying, I cannot
pivot.
keep
The
worrying about
That's right.
what other people are going to think and feel about
That's right.
me.
Yeah.
And that's when my journey really started. Like, okay, Sheena, you got to, because you know you love the Lord.
Come on.
Because he first loved you.
Come on.
So you know this.
Before you were formed.
Before I was born in my mom's womb. So for you to continue to worry about what everybody else is thinking and how they going to feel about you, you better get on your knees and start praying for them.
Come on.
Yeah.
And that's what I started doing. I started praying for other people more than I was praying for myself.
That's right.
And then that one prayer that I prayed and asked God to just put some people on my path.
Yeah.
And I have a wonderful church family. My church family are phenomenal. My pastor, shout out to him, Pastor Ernest Stewart. They are wonderful.
Hey,
when I tell you,
Pastor.
in the darkest moment of me and my husband, where we lost our son, my church, when I tell you those people came through.
But see, that makes a difference. And so,
It does.
so you're, I used to go to Dwayne Simmons' church, and I just absolutely love him. I was his first daughter in the ministry. And he says something all the time, and I was just there Sunday before last. My great nephew got christened. And he said, if the church door closes, and the community in which that church is not impacted, the church wasn't relevant.
Right.
Because if the church door closes, the community should be impacted because the church should be already involved in the community. You know, even though everybody in the community might not go there, they still should be involved in the community.
Absolutely.
You know, and so, and he says that, and so I look at it as I'm the church.
That's right.
And if I can't impact everybody that God allows to come to me, to my sound, because we all have our own sound and our own people that are connected to our sound, to us, if they're not impacted by my absence, then what am I doing, in their presence?
Right.
That's right.
What am I doing in their presence? And so as we're looking at from the topic is from piece to pieces, from pieces to piece. There have been times in my life that I felt quite overwhelmed, felt like I wasn't enough, felt like I was not seen or heard. In those moments, sometimes it's even hard to hear God because Satan magnifies the voice of you're not good enough, you're not worth it, and nobody wants to hear what you got to say. And I found that in those moments, though, when he was trying to speak to me, I had to learn to be the thermostat and set my temperature. I had to regulate my atmosphere.
That's good.
That's good.
And so sometimes it was Mary J. Blige, fine, 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 fine. Ooh, you know? That's my song I listen to every morning going to school, So Fine. That's my song because it just gets me there. So when I'm walking, hey, y'all, how you doing? Come on. It ain't nurse tea. But then when I get to my clinic, I put my gospel on. And the blessing of being in a Catholic school, I can play
do that
it.
freely.
And it's free. Freely. I can freely be who he has called and created me to be. And so I found that setting my atmosphere helps me.
Absolutely.
So what are some of the tools that you do when you're trying to shut the noise out of the wrong voice?
So I want to piggyback. I want to go back to what you said about setting the atmosphere. And I tell people this all the time, from when I've worked in the bank, from when I've did healthcare, up until now me working at Progressive. I tell people matter of fact, I just told my coworker this today. She said, Kay, every time you come in here, you just always look like you just be at peace. And I do. Because one thing for sure and two things for certain, I don't let nothing or nobody stress me out. Right? People and things will only do what you allow them to do.
That's true.
And so if you allow, work and home and this and that to stress you out, then that's because that's what you allow. Another thing is when I get to work, like on my way to work, there's a song that I listen to. I can't remember the name of it, but I listen to this song every morning. I'm gonna think of it in a minute. But I listen to that song coming into work, and then when I get to work, I always have like there's a station on YouTube I listen to, and it's called Work Jazz.
Yes.
And that, when I tell you, and like I sit in the cubicle, so I'm although I sit in the cubicle and there's people still all around me, I'm still able to set the atmosphere in my cubicle,
That's
in
right,
the
in your
space, in the
space.
air around me, right? And so she, you know, and I told her, I said, every time I come in here, you know, this is what I listen to. I said, but while I'm working, this is what I also listen to. And I told her, I said, you know, every time I see you come in here, you always come in here, you're frustrated, you're talking loud, you're saying this, you're doing that. And I said, and one thing that I want you to do is, first of all, I want you to command your day. Right? Because we
Command your day.
Command your day. We have, and I told her, and I said, you know, you have the authority to command your day.
That's right.
So if you get up every morning and you like, oh, I'm just gonna have, okay, well then guess what? That's the type of day you're gonna have.
Don't lose your thought, because it's voice activated. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light, and it was good. And it was good.
Yep.
It is voice activated. So whatever you activate with your voice, with your sound, is what's going to manifest.
That's right. And that's one thing that I tried to get her to understand. And I said, so before I even come through these doors, or even in the mornings before I get up, I always say, I'm gonna have a good day. This is gonna be a productive day. I know I got this going on. I know I got that going on. I got this, I got that. But guess what? We still gonna have a good day. We still gonna have a productive day. And guess what? And my prayer has always been, Lord, I know I'm going into work, but at the end of my shift, if I can just reach one person,
come on now,
in 8.5 hours, I know I've done my job.
That's right.
And so this girl, she sits across from me. So now what she does is, when she comes in the morning, is, oh, hey, Kay, we gonna have a good day. Yes, ma'am, we gonna have a good day. You gonna sit there, you gonna get your work done, and you, matter of fact, you gonna produce more than you did yesterday.
Come on.
And so every day now, it's like, oh, Kay, I got more work done. Yes, you did, because this is what you commanded. You said that I'm gonna get more work done. You said that we're gonna have a productive day, and guess what? That's what happened.
But you realize she couldn't do it on herself.
Right.
See, sometimes we give people a bike, take off the training wheels, and expect them to be a pro.
Right.
But if we take and just encourage them with the training wheels, and then when we take the training wheels, we right there by them and holding them to steady them. Then when we let go, they can handle. I preached in Pittsburgh at Seed and Harvest, Cathedral Seed and Harvest in North Versailles. Bishop Lee Ralph was the pastor on Sunday, and I was giving an analogy of an intercessor. And I said, as an intercessor, you stand between that person and the problem.
Absolutely.
And I had my niece stand here, and Christina's a little thing, but I had her father here, and I was here. I said, you got to push that out the way, and you got to get behind. You got to block that. Then I put her on my back. I said, sometimes you have to carry the person because they're not even strong enough to walk this thing out.
That's right.
And then you try to put them down, they're still too weak. You got to carry them.
Yeah.
And then guess what? As you're carrying them, there's something else God might have you to intercede on. It doesn't stop, but you have to carry that thing. And so you carried her when she didn't know how to carry herself.
That's right.
Now she's coming in affirming with her sound, and you're agreeing with it. Touch and agree. 2 or 3 gathered together, touching and agreeing in my name. There I will be in the midst.
That's right.
Spirits are touching. You must shocked her. Did a spiritual transference.
Listen.
Okay? And now the iron has sharpened iron, and now she understands how to command her day.
That's
but we expect people to catch it, and we have not even taught them how to fish.
You haven't what they say. You can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink it. And so that was one. And another thing was, I actually blessed her with one of my books. And so now, you know, she wasn't a big reader, but now she like, hey, guess what? Before I went to bed, I read my book. But you know, I'm on day 5 now, and this is what I read. And I mean, so now she's a lot more motivated. And so it was in those moments when I literally, first of all, I repent every time, because I'm like, Lord, even when I wanted to walk away from Girl Behold, and even when I wanted to walk away from the assignment, and even when I wanted to walk away from the ministry, I didn't. And I'm thankful for that, right? Amen. Because literally the Lord reminds me daily, Kay, if you had walked away, then this would have happened. If you had walked away, this would have happened. And so it's one of those things that even in the mornings, when I go downstairs to get my breakfast, I'm always smiling. Hey, you know, good morning, how you doing? You know, good morning, how you doing? And the one lady in the cafeteria, she said, Kay, she said, something different about you. She said, I'm really not sure. I said, baby, you ain't got to tell me. I said, this is the joy of the Lord on me, honey.
And the joy of the Lord is my strength.
Hello.
Because that's what I felt. It's like a whole transference.
Because
They told me,
honey,
you're glowing. You're glowing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Nurse T, you're glowing. I said, am I? Yes, you're glowing. But God, I was on the Mount of Transfiguration.
Yeah.
During spring break, during summer
Yeah.
break rather. I was
Yeah.
on the Mount of He did something.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
I'm holding on to that something.
Right.
And I only shared outside of Janae, only a couple other people had my locations, and I checked in with my sister. But somebody, you know, Auntie, what you doing? Auntie, what you doing? And such and such a Auntie, what you know?
That's right.
You know,
Yeah.
That's right.
Because it's important to let people also know where you're at.
Absolutely.
I'm not that grown.
Right.
Like my sister Mel, she sent me a text and said, "Sis, you back?" I said, "Oh," I said, "Yep." She said, "Okay," because I didn't know. Okay, you check me softly.
No, okay. Okay.
I got to start sharing my location with her.
Right.
But that's how we do. We check in.
Absolutely.
We check in.
Absolutely.
So are we checking in with God?
Absolutely.
You know, and are we checking in with one another? Because if I just check in with you, then guess what? I'm okay now because you're going to help me carry this thing.
Right.
But we don't want to check in.
That's
we don't want to be whole because the truth be told, some want to be a victim because you get attention. So you walk around with a victim mentality.
That's
you
right.
want to get attention.
That's
All
right.
men ain't dogs. You just a dog
Come
catcher.
on.
Change the pattern and maybe you start messing with the dog.
Baby.
Come on.
Baby.
Okay,
Come on.
so that's the truth about it. So
Yeah.
when we talking about be whole, it's real raw and relevant.
Yeah.
We're not sugarcoating nothing
That's
that girl
right.
be whole.
That's
to
right.
Kind of
That's
like
right.
piggyback off what you said. Like for me, I discovered that the quietness of the morning is the best time when I commune with God.
Absolutely.
And I have to be honest. Yeah, I can't stand when I'm interrupted.
Yes.
I do not
Yeah.
like my time with God to be interrupted because there's specific things that He's saying to me, and there's specific things that I need to say to Him. And sometimes He don't say anything to me, but I'm saying it all to Him.
That's your time.
Yes.
If somebody else work late, their
Yes.
time might not be the morning. Their time might be 10 p.m.
Right. Now, at
But
that time
find
of
your
night,
time.
Absolutely.
my
Absolutely.
mind is racing. Or
Right.
I'm in relaxed mode at
Yeah.
that moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
you
in
know how
my
to
work,
find your time.
that part, my work area, my place of work is I work for a behavioral health clinic, and I won't put the name out there just for the sake of privacy.
Of course.
But we're not set up to where we're literally in people's face, like we are in individual offices.
Right.
But I see patients, and this one young lady, beautiful young lady, spirit, really good spirit. I felt it, but she was just really just full of anxiety and depression, and whatnot. And this one particular day, she's just having a really bad day. And I said, "Do you believe in God?" She said, "No, I used to." She said, "I used to." I said,
What happened?
Let's
have
start
a
from where you
conversation.
used to.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Let's
'Cause
start
we
from
gonna
where
walk it.
you used
Come on
to.
now.
And talk
That's
about
right.
that. I said, because you looking at a regulated mind that God did.
Come on.
You looking at a saved life.
Come on.
That God saved.
Come on now.
From a depressed person.
Let's just look at it.
Ma'am.
Let's look at that.
Let's talk
and how
about
about
it.
at the end? Because I won't give it all, because we'll be here. But at the end of it, she looked her mother square in her face and said, "Ma, we need to find a church to go to this Sunday."
Come on, God.
See?
Come on.
Don't tell me what God won't do for you if you just give him that little bit of
Just a
just
little
room
bit.
to work with.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
It's as we started the podcast, it's the surrender.
It's a surrender.
It's the surrender.
Yep.
And I believe that the reason why some of us don't surrender because it does cost us.
Absolutely.
To whom much
Fear.
is given, much is required.
That's
Only
right.
Much more is given.
Right. Much more is required. That's right.
And so many of us are so busy wanting to be connected to so many people till we don't even like the isolation that our anointing commands.
And that's why it took me the time to get in this moment. Because God wasn't getting ready to just put anybody
Come on.
That is
in
true.
my path.
That is true.
I was so
I had
glad
to
when
slowly move.
you
Yeah.
came to the conference because I said, Kiara, I posted this post and I'm going to sponsor
I remember.
somebody, and I said, oh, but I'm praying that the right person, because some people and they could afford it, and it wasn't about whether you could afford it or not. It's an opportunity for somebody else to come on in.
That's right. That's right.
And I said, Lord, just send who needs it. And when I was like, oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah.
And the first night when it was open to everybody,
Yep.
you and Darren came. You and your
Yes.
husband came.
And you remember what happened after we talked. We had to talk about that later, but it was phenomenal. It was when I tell you spirit filled. No, I take that back. It was not that night.
It was last.
It was when you text me, you said you and your husband need to get to my church. The answer is there.
I did.
And the answer
That
didn't
was
come
the church
till
service.
after.
Yep.
It didn't come. The service is not what the answer was.
Yeah.
It was
forget.
after.
You know, tell us to say stuff. I forget.
Yep.
I sure did.
Yeah, but even girl, behold. Girl,
because our pieces become peace. Ooh. Yeah, and it's just something simple as girl, behold.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
give yourself permission to heal.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
But we feel as though we have to carry the weight of everything on us and not share what we've gone through or came out of.
Yep.
The Bible says we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and our testimony.
That's right. That's right.
And if we don't testify, how does somebody else know that it's possible to be delivered from this?
Can I share my testimony?
Yes,
before you say, let me just say this real fast. I want to say that we have to, especially as women, we have to get out of the place of being ashamed of what we've been through in our past.
Our truth.
We have to get out of saying, oh, well, I'm not going to say that because I might be saying too much. Or no, I'm not going to say that because I might be saying too much. Let me tell you something. Somebody years ago told me the same thing. And because I did not listen to that person, and because now I'm able to stand and minister naked.
That's good.
Now I'm able to stand and minister naked. I'm able to minister transparently because that person told me I was talking too much. So because you told me I was talking too much, now I'll talk more.
Come on.
You just messed a whole bunch of people up.
Now I talk more.
Definitely, you see your
because
baby.
my and listen, let me pinpoint that. It's because of my mama that I can do this.
Yes.
It's the oil on my mama.
Yes.
The reason why I can do this. But let me say this. When that person told me that I was talking too much, I started talking more. And because I started talking more, so many women have been delivered, healed, and set free because I started talking more.
That's the truth.
Ladies, I don't care who watching this. Don't ever let anyone muzzle your message.
Because we got men out here whose message has gotten muzzled. And now they having issues in their marriage because they have not had the proper therapy.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
And then in church, the church is good for this. We want your gift,
Yeah.
but we don't care about the gifter. We don't care about the person that carries the gift. We don't care that you're being molested.
Ma'am.
We don't care that you're being raped.
Ma'am.
We just want that gift. Come play, come sing, come preach, come teach. We don't care that you're suffering because you're in financial situations right now. Not because you messed some money up, but because your money's funny, your change is strange.
That's right.
You robbing Peter to pay Paul. You got to rob Paul to pay Peter back. That is the reality of some people's life. The best they have sometimes is still a struggle. Sometimes.
Yeah.
So men and women need to learn to open their mouth and say, listen, help.
Yeah.
Can I talk to you?
Right.
Come and talk to me. You know, I was singing to God Sunday. I said, God, come and talk to me. Hey,
right.
I really got to know you. Can you talk to me? You know, I was singing that to you Sunday as I was getting ready for church because I can't do nothing within myself. But people will hold you in bondage over your. My husband told somebody that he had AIDS and that I married him. I'm not infected, and how you get ashamed over my husband's testimony.
Wow.
Did they wake up and see him in the morning?
Come on now. How you ashamed over his testimony, and when he died, it wasn't even detected in his system. He died from colon cancer.
Ma'am.
And I'm not infected and had unprotected sex with him the first 9 months of our marriage because God said, show him what unconditional love is. It was an assignment. It was a marriage ministry assignment in that thing, you know. But people will tell you because you shouldn't say that. No, I'm going to say it all.
Hello? I'm gonna say because here's the truth of the matter is that whatever I've been through, whatever I've gone through in life, or whatever I'm going through right now, I'm not ashamed of it.
That's right.
Pause. Some man says, speak the truth. Come on, speak the truth. Emmanuel.
That's my husband.
That's your husband. That's my husband. Thank you, Dad. Thank you. That's right, Monique. Therapy and prayer. I got Jesus and Alexa.
Come on.
Hello?
Not Alexa,
baby.
Jesus and
Alexa. Hello?
Come on.
So, with you saying that, and this portion of my testimony, because I have a huge testimony, but this portion of my testimony is for those who are struggling with depression.
Yes.
For whatever reason.
Yes, all three of us can attest to that. Come on.
When my son died, he died the day after my oldest son's 4th birthday.
Wow.
I did not want to live again.
Wow.
I thought about suicide several times.
Yeah.
And I was in a very, very, very
You were
dark
dark.
place. And I did not want my oldest son. But the beauty in that is my son did not ever get affected by what I was feeling on the inside.
Wow.
Never. Wow. He can never say that he experienced his mama not wanting him. And this is my right hand. And God has opened the door for me to share this in this moment. I was walking through my living room one night and I was in a bad place. And God whispered in my ear and said, be grateful for what you have, because I could have took both of them. And instantly, my mind was regulated.
My God.
My life was saved.
My God.
So you ain't going to tell me
To shut up.
that God is not real.
Come on.
You're not going to tell me
To not speak.
to not speak and share the goodness
You better.
of him.
You better.
And took that depression and wiped it out. Took that
Yeah.
darkness and wiped it out.
Hallelujah. My God. Thank you, Jesus.
So for anybody out there that's struggling with depression, and yes, if you got to go the extra mile to get some help, by all means do
it.
so.
Yes, that's
Because you
right.
might run into somebody like me in the office that can speak God to you.
That's right.
And tell you what God did for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell people all the time,
So good.
because especially in the African American community, we want to say, if you have a mental illness, it's witchcraft. You don't have enough
Yep.
faith. You don't have this
Yep.
and that.
No, I don't believe
and you
that.
know, I get them good.
Yeah.
So stop taking that pill for your erectile dysfunction.
Hold up.
Stop taking that.
Wait a minute.
Diabetes.
Help us.
Stop taking
That high
Tylenol
blood
for a headache.
pressure.
Stop
Lord.
taking the pills for high
Yeah.
blood pressure.
Yeah.
Stop taking
Right.
the stuff for gout.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
you don't trust God for everything, or you trust Him for
For
nothing.
nothing
So
at
if that's
all.
witchcraft for me, then that's witchcraft for you, and you
Yes,
don't have
ma'am.
enough faith.
Absolutely.
You know, and we need
Absolutely.
to stop holding
That's
people
right.
in bondage.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
because the things change. When the fruit was eaten,
Yeah.
the perfect creation was no
Yeah.
longer perfect when
Yeah.
Adam partook. You know,
Yeah.
it's just Adam and Eve. So now we got Jesus.
Right.
You know, and God gave doctors wisdom.
That's why he
Absolutely.
created them.
And medication,
He created
exactly.
those special people for that reason.
For that special reason.
Because
Things
everybody is not going to connect to him spiritually in that way.
Come on.
That's so
Everybody is
good.
not going to do
Come
that
on.
that way.
But God doesn't heal everybody that
The same
way.
That is true.
Right.
That is
I'm
true.
a miracle. I had a tumor in my liver, and they said, we're just going to monitor. We don't think we need to operate right now. And maybe year 4, 5, 6, somewhere around there, they said, oh, it's shrinking. Then they went in again. A few more years, I said, oh, it's gone.
Not there.
It's gone. You know? But I was like, if they have to operate, they would have to do. But that's my testimony.
Right.
That might not be somebody else's.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That might not be somebody. I'm diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, and I do really well. God took me off the medication, but that's my testimony.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's my testimony.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But also, I can testify about the hits and the licks. I can testify about the house being in foreclosure. I can testify about how God pulled that out and blessed me with a $10,000 grant.
Yeah.
My husband got $1,000 to sow to the pastor chief apostle
Come
Joseph.
on.
for
And
she
his
did.
7th birthday.
Yes, she did.
And then within 24
Yes, she
hours,
did.
somebody gave 2 people I prophesied to. Mother and daughter sold $500 a piece. I got that $1,000 right back.
And did. Yes,
Tell
she
me what
did.
God wants
You know, so,
Yes,
so
she
I
did.
can testify to that. That car was repossessed, but the following year wouldn't spend $16,000 and pay cash for a car. I can attest, but I can still talk about the because it won't always be like this.
Ma'am.
God's perfecting that concerning you. Sooner, not later, it'll turn in your favor.
That's right.
It's turning around for me.
That's right.
You know, that's our story. Because it won't always be like this.
Right.
This is temporary.
Right.
Heaven
Right.
is permanent.
Forever.
This is temporary.
Absolutely.
So these light that's the scripture I've been saying all year. For this light affliction cannot be compared
That's it.
to the glory of
So
God
good.
that shall be revealed
So
in us
good.
from this light
Yeah.
affliction. This is little stuff to God.
Yeah.
Because He knew it was coming
Right.
before we was even born.
Before- that's
before
right.
our parents was born. Before
That's right.
our bloodline came into
Come
existence.
on.
That's right.
Before
That's
He
right.
formed the foundations of this earth.
This is good. This is
Yes,
good.
it's good. Let me see.
Yeah.
Darren said our testimony will set each other free.
Absolutely.
Romans 1:16. I will
on,
not be
sir.
ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Sir.
Come on now. Come on, sir.
Watch
He
your
is
language
my
on
deliverer
this.
and
Watch
my
your language.
redeemer. You
Listen.
talking now, right? Watch your language.
Sheesh.
Okay?
Watch your language, sir.
Come on, Mo. God will take care of you through it for the miracle in your testimony for someone else as well. Amen. Amen. And that's the part. It's for someone. Why? Because sacrificial lamb.
Absolutely.
He knew. I remember I used to ask God. I said, God, why? Why? He said, because you would finish the assignment.
Ooh.
But I didn't get the answer until I stopped asking him why. It was about 3 years after asking why, and I was walking into my kitchen from my living room, and he said, because I knew you would finish the assignment.
Wow.
And I knew exactly what that answer was for. I knew exactly what it was for. And so it's as, what are you doing, Satan? He said, I'm going to and fro to see who I can just destroy, tear up,
That's right.
eat up, make miserable. Has thou considered my servant Job? Wow. Job went through he lost everything, his health, everything. And he
Yeah.
can't touch his soul. But when I preach it, I always say, I preach it as that was a declaration.
Yeah.
And not, you're not permitted to.
Right.
Because he doesn't serve me from his thing.
Yeah.
He serves me from his soul.
So, that's right. Yeah.
That's where we serve.
That's right.
So you're not going to change his soul if you take everything I blessed him with.
Right,
And
right.
because he stayed faithful, he got even the more.
Right. Right.
He got even the more. And so if we can remember that, he can't touch where you serve him
That is
from.
true. That's so true.
That is true.
He can't. So let's talk about this. Your babies, your girls do hair. Because you do hair. Have they done hair all their life? I just pivoted. We're going to get personal.
Yeah, why not?
I'm not gonna say all of their lives, but the one twin, Renasia, she does her own hair. She does a phenomenal job. But the other twin, Renaya, is the one who's actually taken on the gift, right?
Wow.
And so I can say that just over like the last 4 months, her business has literally multiplied. Just from braiding hair, and she wants to get into the lashes, and then, this makeup thing. And so she is, Renaya is my, I'm not going to say gifted child, but she is my gifted child, right?
So you had to say it.
Yes, I say it.
Put the right word on it.
Yeah, she is my gifted
Gifted
child. And so she's the one that I know for a fact that the Lord has a calling on her life, because there has been plenty of times when I've been downstairs working or just around the house, and she is literally in her room. I'm talking about get in a full worship, and is pure. Wow. She's not in there playing. None of that. She's literally in pure worship. And then of course 5 minutes later she upstairs listening to trap music, and I'm just like, listen, baby, I'm like, okay, baby, you got your praise on, now you up there listening to trap music, and that's what she does when she does hair, and I'm fine with that. And so a lot of people will question, well, how come you don't always bring the girls, and the girls come to church? And my answer is simply, my girls know who God is.
They have a relationship.
They have a relationship. They have their own personal relationship with the Lord. And I feel like I don't always have to bring them to church every Sunday just for them to know who God is. They know who God is on their you know what I'm saying, in a way or on the level that they
How many
understand.
people go to church every Sunday and they're not the hands and feet of Jesus and the Lamb?
Clock it.
And then my nephew, her baby DJ, that's my drummer.
Yes.
So Monica, Mrs. Monica Scott now.
That's
his
right.
drummer. She was in town and made sure that I knew, Auntie, I'm going to be here. She was at Platform 13. It was off the chain. And I said, what am I going to get my baby some sticks?
Some drumsticks. Yes.
He is anointed. And
He is.
All your children are, though, in their own way.
They are.
You have a gifted clan.
Yeah.
You
I
have
got a
some
whole
gifted
team, baby.
Yeah, you do.
I got a whole team.
They ain't the Jacksons.
Listen, okay.
But they gifted.
Yeah.
They gifted.
They are.
They're
They
definitely
each
gifted.
have their own unique gifts, right? And so I try, even even in this, to make sure that I cultivate each gift individually and then corporately.
So how do you balance ministry and that's why I'm getting, I asked that so I could lead into how do you balance ministry and your children? Because I know for a minute there, I didn't do so well, and my daughter, Janae was mad at me. She was angry with me, and she would say things, and I was like, but I'm here for you too. And then one day she said, Mom, there was this guy, he was a homeless guy, and he needed some food. He was hungry. And I got him food, and I gave him $20 too. She said, I get it from my mama. At that moment,
That's where she
I
got her
realized
understanding from.
yes, boom, boom.
Yeah.
It connected then. And then she realized that's mom. And then what happened then, I'd be like, you want to go to the store with me? Yeah, no. Because you want to start prophesying. And you want me to be home till tomorrow. No, because one thing leads to the next. Then you're in the hospital praying. Then you done drove this one out of town. Then you done came back. And then, but when that happened, then she realized, what her mother carried. What I carried. And so when I'm out and about, she's like, girl, you okay? You good? You this, that? How discernment go? Da, 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 da. Yeah, so how do you balance ministry and being mom? Because you got babies,
I do have babies. Yeah.
How's the oldest?
So the girls are 15.
And the youngest?
She's 1.
See?
So I have kids of all ages.
Yeah.
Is it hard? Yes. But I find, like I said before, I don't allow my kids to stress me out because my kids know right from wrong. They know, everything that I hold right now, so not only is Girl Be Whole, and then it's the life coaching, then it's the, the book, and then, it's still trying to be mommy too. And then it's still being a full-time employee and whatever else. And so, I just launched a new business as well, the K Experience, which is the luxury cleaning business. So I'm trying to get that off the ground as well. So there is a lot. But one thing that I do is I try to make sure that I have everything planned out for the week. So I know that on Sundays after church, I come home, I clean up, and that's our time. That's me and the kids' time, to bond. We play, we talk, we do all of those things. And then I always put at least 2 hours before the end of the night for just them. So I close the laptop, I close the chat down, the Girl Be Whole chat, all of those things, and I just dedicate those 2 hours specifically to, to them. And that may be we even cook, watch a movie, just sit around. They may just come in my room and sit down, but I always dedicate those last 2 hours before the end of the day to them. And they understand. They understand everything that I carry. They understand everything that I'm dealing with right now, and so they really make it easy for me. Shout out to my baby. Shout out to you. I love y'all.
That's good.
Kim, before we close out, please, we'll do this. Shout out to my team, okay? Shout out to my Girl Be Whole team.
I'm gonna ask for back up now. Yeah. Definitely got to shout out the team.
Shout out my team, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. This team, the Lord gave me this group of women for Girl Be Whole this year, and I'm gonna be honest, because we can be honest in this moment. I was very nervous about this. I was very nervous about this. I was very nervous about creating a team for this conference because the last 2 years I've been doing this on my own, right? So I was very nervous, but I am so thankful and I'm so grateful that the Lord sent me this group of women. So shout out to Sheena and Auntie Tanya. These are our marketing directors for Girl Be Whole. Woo woo. And then our executive assistant Bianca, and then we have Marissa, who is our
administrator.
Our administrator, yes. Markeisha, who is our administrator. Courtney, who is in finance. And Mercedes, yes, y'all. Mercedes is our event coordinator, and I'm Mama Tasha. Yes, y'all, that's my mama. Listen, her name is Latasha Scott to you, okay?
All talented
Thank you.
Too.
So she's the speaker on Saturday morning.
Yes, she is.
So Friday evening we have Pastor Alexis. She's coming, and then Saturday morning, as you can see, guys, we're going to have
a full day.
But then we're going to go into a full praise and worship Saturday night. We're going to get crunk for Jesus.
My first book signing is Saturday, y'all.
Yes.
Whoop. Yes. And Auntie, don't forget to tell them the whole weekend is free. You have no excuse why you should not be there. The whole weekend is free. But let me say this before we close out. I only have 20 seats left for Saturday. And I made this space intimate for us because I know what the Lord is going to do. The Lord has already showed me. I only have 20 seats left.
And you made
Please,
those
ma'am.
20 free.
Those 20 are free.
Okay.
The last 20 are free.
The last 20 are free.
Inbox,
Yes.
inbox her, or inbox me, Tanya Lynn, TanyLynn.
Or me.
Or Sheena.
Or Sheena, CASHEENA, Okay,
Yes.
now I want to show the other flyer
Yes.
because my sister Mel and Pam, they got this coming up August 30th.
Woo.
Woman of Wonder. Your Superwoman presents
Superwoman.
Baby Listen.
Yes.
This is free also. It's going to be at the Warrensville Library from 2 to 5:15 on Saturday, August 30th. So you don't want to miss that. Now we're about to round down. I want to thank you guys for being my guest. It's about 2 minutes before we have to get off. And I just want to talk about grace for yourself.
Yeah.
This is day 5.
That's good.
But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Today, I release the need to be everything to everyone. Give yourself permission to rest, to make mistakes, and to grow at your own pace. God's grace covers every gap and sustains you with strength beyond your own. Take that with you. Go to Amazon and get this book. You stay well, you stay blessed, but most of all, you be a blessing to someone every day. This is Tanya, your favorite auntie, and thank you for tuning in to another show, Conversations with Auntie. Smooches.